Hi and welcome. Did you know that the IRS.gov states that 80% of Americans overpay their taxes? Are you in that 80%? Are you overpaying your taxes? If you'd like to learn about the other 20 that do not, and they're in the know, you're going to want to watch this short video. Today my guest is tax savings attorney Drew Miles. Drew, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jen. It's good to be here.
I'm glad you're here. So that number's staggering. Now, you have a business called Pathfinder Business Strategies, and you help people save taxes. Is that accurate? Did most of the people who come to you, are 80% of these people overpaying taxes?
That, in our experience, that is accurate. In fact, I would say I've yet to speak to a client who isn't overpaying their taxes, and probably that's because the folks that are calling us are really feeling the pain. Really feeling the pain.
So the other 20, where are they and why are they not paying the taxes? What's happening there? Well,
perhaps it's some good planning that's going on. You know, what we do, first of all, we're a group of attorneys and CPAs.
Okay.
And I'm an attorney. I've been admitted now for 23 years, and so really had the pleasure of working with thousands of people around the country. Right. And we focus on two main areas, and that's asset protection and tax savings. So it's our mission to teach our clients to build lasting wealth by protecting their assets and reducing their taxes to the legal minimum.
Right.
And so, you know, the average person's paying about 31% in taxes. And if you're watching this, then I'd encourage you to just grab a tax return and just do the math. You're likely to see that you're paying 30% to 40%. In some cases, it's 40, high 40s. And so, almost, let's just say a third to half of every dollar you make is going out the door. Now, if there was nothing we could do about it, that would just be, it would be a very short conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact is that we regularly cut our clients' taxes in half, and we often get them down below 10%.
10%.
That's correct.
Okay, so you're talking
legally, ethically, right out of the tax code.
Right. So you're just relying on tax code. Now the tax code's huge, I understand.
Yes.
The average CPA gets so busy doing so many different things, they are not digging down the rabbit hole. They're not looking at the tax code.
Yeah,
and really serving their clients.
Yeah, to be clear, that tax strategizing isn't their job. We tend, as lay people, we think it is. We think it's a one-stop shop.
Right.
But doctors have specialized for decades. You wouldn't go to a podiatrist if you had a headache. That just wouldn't make any sense. Lawyers have now specialized for decades, and so you wouldn't go to a criminal attorney if you had a family issue.
Okay.
But you go to your CPA thinking they've got all the answers, from filing your tax return to strategizing to who knows what.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is that's unfair.
Right.
They're not geared up for that. Their area of specialty is compliance, filing the right form by the right date, putting the right number on the right line of the form, and that is a very valuable service. I don't prepare tax returns. My team doesn't. We strategize. We work with business owners and of any kind, of every kind, I should say, across the country, and we look at their finances from a different perspective.
Okay.
And that's, where are they overpaying taxes? They often don't realize that there's room for improvement, or they certainly don't know where to look for that improvement.
To get the improvement. Now, to introduce clients to your program, you have a risk-free wealth training, you call it, and that is done via webinar.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's right.
And so talk a little bit about that so that someone could understand how to get some information to learn more about what it is you do and how they could start taking these advantages.
It's about 90 minutes in length, plus or minus a few minutes, and it's designed to accomplish a couple things. First of all, we want to get to know each other, and for people to just get a sense of what it is we do and how we can help. They know they're bleeding, they know they're hurting, but more often than not, they just throw up their hands. They don't know that there is help or where to get the help.
Okay.
We take them through parts of the tax code, and we zero in on about 15 specific tax saving strategies, deductions, if you will.
Okay.
Some of which they've never heard of before.
Right.
So it'll be, it's kind of fun to find out that there's a deduction in the code, and you kind of scratch your head and say, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I've been in business for 20 years. I didn't know that.
Right.
Likewise, there's deductions that they are taking, and but they're not getting the best bang for their buck.
Full benefit?
Yeah, the full benefit,
right.
because of a number of things. But
okay.
we can help them overcome those shortcomings. And then there are some interesting deductions that we focus on that I like to say they've gotten a bad rap. Phrases like "that'll raise a red flag,"
right,
or "that's too risky." There are things that are in the code that the profession has adopted this attitude toward, and often there's good reason for the attitude.
Right.
Somebody back in the day tried to get away with something, they got their hand slapped, so the word went forth, "Don't take that deduction."
Right, they didn't do it.
Really, the word that should have gone forth is, "Don't mess around. Do it right."
Do it, okay.
And don't play games with the IRS. They're not folks that you want to tangle with. So you do it right, you follow the rules, and that's what we do. Is we show them what the rules are.
Right.
We show them the documentation that they need, and they'll get a really good sense of how much opportunity there is on one of those 90-minute webinars.
Right. So they call the number, they can sign up. It's risk-free.
Totally risk-free. If they don't like what they've learned,
we're going to send them a report as well.
We've got a 16-page free report. Yes.
This is pre, so they'll get this, so they can kind of get prepared.
As soon as they sign up, they'll get that report emailed to them,
and then they can get on the webinar and go from there. So, on an average, you mentioned saving up to 50% in taxes. That's
commonplace for our clients.
Commonplace, and so there's 80. The IRS.gov. If you go on there, you can see that they're stating that 80% of the people overpay their taxes. Now, the government's not sending checks back to us because they say, "Oh, hey, Drew, you messed up here."
You're right. We owe you some money.
It's not happening.
That doesn't happen.
Okay, but if we get educated, like the other 20%, and the first step is getting on the webinar to learn to get your feet wet, to get to understand what it is you do, because there are probably red flags for people, but you build that rapport and comfort level with them, and then you can find out where that client fits into your methodology, I guess.
Yeah, and I liken it to getting on a highway during rush hour, and there's an HOV lane, and it's just a different set of rules for the folks in the HOV lane. So you've got a choice to make. Do you want to follow one set of rules and sit in bumper-to-bumper traffic, or do you want to follow another set of rules, have a passenger with you, get in the HOV lane? It's no riskier.
It's not riskier.
There's no red flags, and you don't have to look over your shoulder in the rearview mirror. You can just drive safe, knowing that what you're doing is well within the bounds of the law, and you'll be home, in half the time.
Quicker. So you're getting
same thing with the tax code.
You're getting the benefit.
You get the benefit,
and it's not risky.
Correct.
Okay. What I want you to do is call that number below on the screen. Sign up for the webinar. You're going to get this free report, and you're going to get to meet Drew on this call and some of his colleagues, and you're going to learn how to move from the 80 to the 20. And I urge you to do this right now. Thanks for watching.